G'day, Chris Warrick from the GRDC Grain Storage Extension team. We've been getting a few calls lately from growers needing to harvest or needing to store grain that's slightly over moisture. The good news is aeration cooling fans can be used to hold that grain for 3 to 4 weeks until it can be dried or blended. Now, of course, aeration drying is a completely different process, requires really high airflow rates of 15 litres per second per tonne or more. What we're talking about is small aeration fans being able to cool the grain until it can be dried or blended. Of course, if we're going to blend that over moisture grain, we need to do it properly, and ideally, once it's blended, put it back into storage and run the aeration cooling fans again to even that moisture out. A few key points to remember if you're going to use aeration cooling to temporarily hold high moisture grain. Make sure you are getting at least 2 litres of air per second per tonne, and make sure that airflow is as even as you can get it. So good aeration ducting, ideally 2 fans on a cone bottom silo to make sure you've got even airflow through the silo. Of course, we want the lid on the silo open and ideally some vents to let that exhaust air carry the moisture out of the air to stop condensation forming in the headspace. The only time you should turn fans off if you're doing this practice is if the ambient conditions are over 85% for an extended period of time. Even then, I wouldn't want these fans turned off for more than a 24-hour period. So we've really got to run these fans ideally continuously until we can deal with that grain, dry it down or blend it. And the most important point is that monitoring is critical. Check the grain temperature at least daily. Make sure you are getting a cooling effect. Make sure the grain is not heating up and sweating. If you have to, even take the grain out of the silo again, in effect turning it and put it back in the silo. For more information on grain storage and dealing with high moisture grain, go to storedgrain.com.au or give one of the team a call on 1800 Weevil.